What's up guys, Draco here, talking about cloaks, whilst holding a hairbrush, because why not? Anyway, I think cloaks are just really cool. I don't own a cloak, and I'm not, like, a big accessory person, but I've been getting back into, like, drawing and, like, making OCs and stuff, and cloaks are just a really fun accessory to give a character. As well as, like, they're just also quite fun to draw, because it's like, if you just don't want to draw something, you can just cover it with a cloak. It's genius. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work for hands unless you, like, folded your hands in. I guess you could even pockets. Yeah, because I don't like drawing hands. I'm not good at art in general. But, like, especially hands. They just take so long. So I'm like, I could avoid just drawing hands if I just did a cloak over it. But, you know, it is what it is. I also just like, it's very comfortable, some cloaks. And they just have a really cool aesthetic. I think maybe it's just like, but also they're very versatile. You could use it like to keep warm, wrap it around you. You might be able to use it to like deflect an arrow. Probably not. But I mean, like, it will disperse the force somewhat, especially if it's like hanging like loosely. I mean, it's not gonna save you, but if it's like a light arrow, it's better than nothing. You can use it to hide. You can use it to just vaguely wave in someone's face. You can also just look flamboyant. Cloaks are very cool. Also, Frodo wears one in Lord of the Rings, and that's very good. He does, right? I swear he does. I watched this, like, only a few weeks ago. How have I not remembered? I swear he wears a cloak. If not, he should have. He went that whole journey barefoot. And it's like, I agree, having calloused feet and, like, going outside barefoot, pretty good for you. If you step on something, it's like, oh well, it's not too bad. But he walked up a volcano barefoot. Sam walked up a volcano, carrying him on his back for a bit. Like, oh God, carrying him on his back. See, it's the gay fanfiction paradox again. To be clear, that's like an actual term in, like, linguistics, I think. It's basically, if you have two people who use the same pronouns, you're trying to discuss them, it can be really annoying to distinguish who's doing what. So if it's like, oh, Jack and Jill went up the hill, and then he punched her in the face, you know that I'm talking about Jack punching Jill, because in this story. You might have anyway. But yeah. However, if you then have Jack and Bill, and they're both cis men using he, him, or even if one of them's a trans man using he, him, it's the same problem. Even if both are trans men using he, him, you still have the same thing of they're using he. It's about the pronouns, not about gender. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's about pronouns, I guess it's not about gender. I was thinking more sex, but it's also not about gender, because you can use whatever pronoun. Anyway. But yeah, basically, if you have two people using he, him, and let's say Jack and Bill for this scenario, then Jack and Bill went up the hill, and he punched him in the face, it's like, well, who punched who? Who knows? I think it would be Bill because he's the last one referred to, and then him would be the other person because otherwise it would be himself. But I'm not certain. And then the thing is, people don't really know. I'm sure, like, a linguist could be like, oh, it refers to this, but, like, if you're just a regular person, you don't know that. So that's why the gay fanfiction paradox is an issue. Well, not paradox, just gay fanfiction problem. So yeah. It's pretty interesting. It's obviously not just for gay fanfiction. If you're just talking about two people who aren't romantically involved but of the same, like, if you're just saying, oh, Napoleon and whoever was leading the English went to war and he won, you don't know who won. But, like, if it's like, oh, Cleopatra and Mark Antony went to war, well, no, they were lovers. Oh, well, if you said that anyway, you'd be wrong, but if you said he won, you'd know it's Mark Antony because he's the guy in the situation. Well, they were lovers, so I don't know why they would go to war. Anyway, this was about cloaks, wasn't it? Why was I talking? Oh yeah, I was talking about it because of like Frodo. Yeah, Lord of the Rings was a great movie, but I've actually talked about Lord of the Rings in I think it was the Rings episode, probably. That would make sense. I can't remember what I title these videos, I'll be honest. For all I know, I could have repeated the video by now. I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Like, sometimes I go back and check, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a good thing that I might have done, let me check. But sometimes it's like, oh, I probably haven't done this and I don't check. Like, this one I haven't checked, I might have another one called Cloaks, but I don't think so. Who knows? But anyway, cloaks are very fun. They also I just like that they're flowy. It's also nice that you can just sort of go with whatever shape. Like, obviously it has to have like a somewhat clear shape, but like, the shape of a cloak can vary quite a lot based on the cloak you're going for. And then it's not like it's hugging the body as much, so it's like, you can just sort of have it flow dangly. It's like, woo! I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, like, this is not the shape of a cloak. But I was just thinking, like, the bottom of it, like, flows and swishes, and it's like, woo! So, yeah. I don't know why I've been getting back into drawing now. I think I've always wanted to draw, but I've never been, like, good. I've never had an issue with being bad at it. I think it's just it takes so much time, and then, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just it takes so much time, and I'm just like, do I really want to put that much time in for something that I might end up not liking in the end? And then, over the past, like, year or so, I've been like, actually, I do want to do that, because otherwise I just have no talents. Although, calling it a talent probably isn't right. I have no skills if I just don't try anything, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be bad at it. Because it's like, if you just don't try anything, of course you're going to be useless at everything. That's why I was useless for, like, 16 years of my life, because I didn't do anything. Because I didn't do, like, I only learned how to cook, like, a few years ago. And I think, like, every person should be able to cook to at least a basic level. Like, you obviously don't need to be the next Gordon Ramsay. But, like, you should be able to make yourself a meal. That, like, and beyond just, like, even just putting something in the oven, honestly. But, like, you should be able to make some level of meal. Maybe not, like, maybe not something that's, like, super complex, but, like, if you can't even just, like, make some pasta, like, there's something going on. But yeah, I didn't know how to make pasta when I, like, actually no, too far. I learned how to make pasta when I was, like, pretty young. But I didn't even know how to, like, you know, just make a fairly basic dish. Like, I eat, egg fried rice loads, and I make it now whenever I'm home alone. But I didn't know how to make that about 5 years ago. And it's like, yeah, you really need to know, like, some basic things. So yeah. I don't know why people, I think it's just, I don't know. It's this whole thing with, like, toxic masculinity. It's like, oh yeah, you don't need to learn how to do this. This is a woman's job. It's like, no, it's a basic need. Also, I'm agender. Why would I subscribe to gender roles even if I didn't think it was a basic need that every person should do? But then my family does very strongly subscribe to gender roles, so it's like, well, you know. Anyway. Yeah, I like, I love cooking. Maybe because I don't do it very much. If I did it more, I probably would hate it. But it's very fun to cook. I hella recommend. The other thing is, I don't like eating very much. Like, I'm not a big fan of food. Also, I'm not a good cook. Like, I'm very slow. But, I mean, I'm not like a chef or anything. I don't need to be really quick because, like, if I take ages to chop a carrot, like, it doesn't affect anyone. Whereas if you're a chef, you probably need to be a bit quicker, otherwise you're going to feed 2 people in, like, 4 hours. Because if I'm cooking for someone, they're going to starve before I finish my meal. Yeah. But I don't know, it's very fun to cook. This was not about cloaks at all. But yeah. Anyway, back to cloaks. You don't really have much else to say other than they're comfy, they can sometimes hide you, they keep you warm. Just go to the accessories. So yeah. If you have a cloak, very slay. I hella recommend wearing it, because why not? Yeah, I don't know. I've really not been very on topic of cloaks this one, but I didn't really have much to say beyond I've been drawing and giving characters cloaks. But yeah, I don't know. They just are very fun to draw. I also like the, you could do like a scarf one. You could do like one with like a brooch. You could do one that's like actually like wrapped around the body. There's loads of different ways to draw cloaks, and they're all very cool. And there's loads of different types of cloaks you could buy, and they're all very cool. Yeah. So, thanks for watching. If you don't know how to do basic life skills, I won't judge you, because like it's probably not your fault. It's probably like child rearing and stuff. But I do recommend trying to give it a go. And also I'd recommend giving hobbies a go. If you're bad at it and you decide, like if it's a hobby, then it's fine if you're bad at it and just go, I don't actually want to do this. But if you're bad at it and you're like, well, I'd like to get better, just keep going. I believe in you. And I don't know why I keep picking up and putting down this hairbrush. But I believe in you, and you should believe in yourself. Slay. See you next time. Bye.